Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will be doing a differentiation quotient rule question. So this is where you need to differentiate where you have a fraction and you can't differentiate normally. So let's get into it. So the main rule is if you have something in the form u over v, you would write that differentiated, that dy over dx would be u dash v minus uv dash over v squared. So that means you differentiate the top, times it by the bottom, and then take away, differentiate the bottom, times it by the top, all over the bottom squared. So if we do this question as an example, so we have y equals 5x squared plus 10x over x plus 1 squared, and we want to differentiate this. So I'm just going to do it straight away. I'm not going to write u and v because I think it's overcomplicating it if you do too much working. So differentiate the top, you'd get 10x plus 10 times the bottom, which is x plus 1 squared. Take away, differentiate the bottom, which is 2 lots of x plus 1. Decrease the power by 1, it will become 1, multiplied by 5x squared plus 10x. And then all of that divided by the bottom squared, which would turn into x plus 1 to the 4. Okay, now we have that, we can see if anything cancels out. So we have an x plus 1 here, we have an x plus 1 in both of these, so we can cancel out the x plus 1s, and that will become a 3. And then if we simplify a bit, let me just rewrite this. So then we would have 10x plus 10 from before, and we would still have 1x plus 1 left. Take away 2 lots of, our x plus 1 is gone, so we have 5x squared plus 10x, and then divide all of this by x plus 1 cubed. And now it says over a, that means that that's just a constant, so we need to do some expanding maybe. So if we write this again, we'd get 10x squared plus 10x plus 10x plus 10 minus 10x squared minus 20x over x plus 1 cubed. And then if we look, if I rewrite this with all the terms, like terms collected, so we'd have the 10x squared minus the other 10x squared. Then we'd have the plus 10x, the plus 10x, and also the minus 20x. And then we'd also have the plus 10 at the end. So over here you can see this cancels out with this. The 10 and the 10 will cancel out with the 20. And the 10 is what remains, just the constant. Oh yeah, let me add the bottom. So x plus 1 cubed. So if I rewrite this, we would just have 10 over x plus 1 cubed, where a is equal to 10 and our n is equal to 3. Make sure you state these values just so that it's very clear to the examiner what a and n are. Okay, part B is only 1 mark. Let's see. So for part B, it says deduce the range of values for which for which dy over dx is less than 0. So we have our dy over dx, and we want it to be less than 0. Okay, so now we see what we can do, because our top is positive, our top is 10, and that is never going to change because it's a constant. Constants don't change. So the 10 is positive, and oh, that's supposed to be 0, and we know that less than 0, that just means negative. So this essentially means negative. And this, to make a negative, for example, if I had 10 over 10, that would be positive. If I had 10 over 5, that would be positive. The 10 can't change. So on the bottom, I will need to have a negative number, for example, negative 1, to make it negative 10. So the only way for this to be negative if the denominator must be negative. I mean, you should know this, that plus positive over positive is positive, a positive over negative would equal to a negative. That would be more than 0. Okay, so if we do this inequality, then we just switch back. We do this inequality, x plus 1 cubed is less than 0. That means x plus 1 has to be less than 0. And if x plus 1 is less than 0, then x would be less than minus 1. And that is our answer, because if x is less than negative 1, because it's cubed, cubed will have the same sign as the original. So if I had 2 cubed, that will still be positive. But if I had minus 2 cubed, that will be minus 8. It will have the same symbol. So if x is less than minus 1, let's say it's minus 2, we get minus 2 plus 1 cubed, which would be minus 1 cubed, which is just minus 1. Okay, so yeah, that is the answer. Let me just check if they want anything else. No, so over here, for our answer, we would just put x is less than negative 1. And that's our answer. So yeah, that's it for this video. I really appreciate if you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.